الحمد لله رب العالمين نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Indeed, all praise is due to Allah. We praise Him, we seek His aid and forgiveness from the evil of ourselves and from the evil of our actions. Whoever Allah guides, there is none to misguide, and whoever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala leaves misguided due to perversion in their heart, then there is none that can guide. And I testify that none has the right to be worshipped except Allah, and that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is His last messenger and slave and worshipper, the best of the worshippers and the best of the messengers sent to mankind. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. Oh, you believe, fear Allah as you should be feared, and do not die except that you are Muslims, submitted to the will of Allah. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. O mankind, fear your God, your Lord, who created you from a single soul, and from that soul He created its mate, and from them came many men and women. So fear Allah, from whom you demand your mutual rights, and respect the wombs that bore you. يا أيها الذين آمنوا, and a better translation is, and keep ties of kinship. I said, respect the wombs that bore you. A better translation is, and respect the ties of kinship. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. Oh, you believe, say a word that is directed to the truth. Say a good word, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may rectify your actions and forgive you your sins. For indeed whoever obeys Allah and His Messenger has attained a great success. أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. Indeed, the best speech is the book of Allah, the Quran. And the best guidance is the guidance of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the worst of the affairs are the newly invented matters that people invent in the religion. For every newly invented matter is an innovation in the religion. And every innovation in the religion is a misguidance, and every misguidance is in the fire. This is the khutbatul haja. And the beginning, inna alhamdulillah nahmadu wa nasta'inu wa nastaghfiruh, until the end. The khutbatul haja, which the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam would mention, and the Sahaba, for them to listen and be attentive that what is to come is important. The Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam would mention this in his sermons. And this is inshallah a revival of what the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam would do in his sermons, and in his introductory speech he would mention this khutbatul haja for what it contains of great benefits. And Shaykh al-Albani rahimahullah, the muhaddith, the allama of this age, of this century, he has a small book called Khutbatul Haja, where he revives this Sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And in his lectures, you find he always begins with Khutbatul Haja. In most cases, or always begins with Khutbatul Haja. So we'll begin with that. The chapter that we're going to look at today, yesterday we looked at the chapter on extremism, or the chapter, the reason for disbelief of Bani Adam, the children of Adam, is their leaving their deen, is their extremism towards the righteous. And in our age we see extremism also towards the unrighteous. And today we're going to look at an important chapter, and that is with regards those who feel safe from the plan of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And there are those who, in the opposite direction, they have despair from hoping in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's mercy and relief and refuge. So the chapter that Shaykh al-Islam Muhammad Wahab rahimahullah begins, Babu qawlillahi ta'ala, أَفَأَمِنُوا مَكْرَ اللَّهِ فَلَا يَأْمَنُوا مَكْرَ اللَّهِ إِلَّا الْقَوْمُ الْخَاسِرُونَ. أَفَأَمِنُوا مَكْرَ اللَّهِ? Do they feel safe with the plan of Allah? When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala plots against those who plot? Because the word makr in the human sense is negative. But when it's for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah uses it against itself, then it's perfect for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Shaykh Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah mentioned this in his explanation of Ibn Qudama's book, Al-Lum'at I'tiqad. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions this against itself. And Shaykh Ubayd Hafidhullah mentions the same benefits. That we only say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses this against those who bring it. وَمَكَرُوا وَمَكَرَ اللَّهِ. And they plot, and Allah plans against them, against their plots. وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ. So it's not to be attributed to Allah that He plots. Nor is it to be denied for Allah that He doesn't plot and plan. But rather, what is perfect for Allah is affirming al-makr against those who do makr. Those who try to deceive Allah, He deceives them. So against itself, it's perfect for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Against those who do it. As Allah said, وَهُوَ خَادِعُهُمْ. They started with the khida', with the deception. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala misguides them more. يُخَادِعُهُمْ. To leave them in their deception that they are upon. And there are other attributes like that, similar to that, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala affirms when it's against those who do it, those who are deserving of it. And that is praiseworthy for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But in itself, in and on itself, it is a dispraised attribute to plot, to deceive, and so on. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions it against those who do it, to leave them upon the path that they have chosen, and to only in reality deceive themselves, and only in reality have themselves to blame for that. So in here we begin this chapter, and Shaykh Ubayd al-Jabri, Hafidhullah, he says first and foremost, we have to, the benefit of this verse is number one, البيان بأنه يجب على المسلم ألا يغتر بما يصيبه في هذه الدنيا. Person must not be deceived, be delusioned about what he may gain in this dunya. Maybe the person, he gains much wealth, he gains, mashallah, Allah bless him with good health, many children, much wealth, but the person must not be deceived by this, such that he is preoccupied with his wealth and the life of this dunya, leaving the life of the akhirah. So when salah time comes, he misses the salah. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned about those who leave the salah, فَخَلَفَ مِنْ بَعْدِهِمْ خَلْفٌ أَضَاعُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَاتَّبَعُوا الشَّهَوَاتِ. That's the consequence. After them came a people who discarded the prayer, or they became neglectful of the prayer. And in consequence, they followed their desires. Shaykh Salih al-Fawzan, حفظه الله ومتعه بالصحة والعافية, he said, look at the consequence of leaving the prayer. The consequence of the person becoming neglectful of the salah, not being concerned with the salah, is you will follow your desires. Because Allah said that, وَاتَّبَعُوا الشَّهَوَاتِ فَسَوْفَ يَلْقَوْنَ غَيًّا. And they will be in al-ghayya. Sallallahu salama. And some of the mufassirun, the scholars of tafsir, they mentioned that they will have the pus that comes from the zaniyat, the zani and the zaniyat, the pus that comes from them, sallallahu salama, in Jahannam, in their hellfire. So may Allah protect us. May Allah make us of those who protect their salah and protect their ibadah, because we should not feel safe that due to a sin or due to us oppressing ourselves, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's punishment does not come. Yes, we have hope for His mercy, but we should fear His punishment. Fear His punishment. Checking ourselves daily. Checking our salah, which is عمود الدين. حافظوا على الصلوات والصلاة الوسطى وقوموا لله قانتين. Guard the prayers, especially the middle prayer. And stand up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon continuous ibadah. There's a reminder here, traffic wardens booking cars outside on the street. So move any cars on double yellow or zigzag lights. أَفَأَمِنُوا مَكْرَ اللَّهِ. The believer strives his utmost to keep up his ibadat, his adhkar, in the morning and in the evening. Because he's careful to make sure, or he tries to make sure that he is remembering Allah. He's from those that Allah writes as the dhakirin Allah kathiran, والذاكرات. For them Allah says, أَعَدَّ اللَّهُ لَهُمْ مَغْفِرَةً وَأَجْرًا عَظِيمًا. Allah's prepared for them great reward and forgiveness because they remember Him much. Look at the Sahaba. The Prophet said, لا يزال لسانك رطبا بذكر الله. When the man asked, give me advice. Make your tongue continuously moist with the dhikr of Allah. And the affair of Tawheed, sincerity, is more so now. These aspects of ibadat is to us upholding our Tawheed, our ikhlas. Your salawatul khams, in it is Tawheed. As the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said to Muawiyah ibn Hakim al-Sulami, hadith in Sahih Muslim, the hadith al-Jariyah, the hadith of Ayn Allah, long hadith. Beautiful hadith affirming that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is above the heavens, which befits His majesty. But look, even the Jariyah knew that Allah is above. Even the slave girl or the servant girl knew that Allah is above. And He said, free her as she is a believer. اعتقها فإنها مؤمنة. So from belief is to believe in Allah's beautiful names and attributes. That is from Imām. That is from Tawheed. Free her as she is a believer. She affirmed Rasulullah is the messenger of Allah. She affirmed Allah is above creation. She pointed out in some narrations. And she affirmed at-Tawheed. Which Tawheed? Al-Asma' wal-Sifat. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is above in a way which befits His majesty. Ar-Rahmanu ala al-Arsh istawa. God in your prayers. What does He say about in that hadith of Muawiyah ibn Hakim al-Sulami before the story of the servant girl? Begin the hadith. Somebody sneezed. Companions sneezed. Someone sneezed. And Muawiyah spoke in the prayer. When someone says Alhamdulillah, say Rahmakallah. But this is the salah. Don't say Rahmakallah to somebody if they sneeze and say, don't say Rahmakallah, Yarhamakallah. So when he said Yarhamakallah, the Sahaba, they're looking at him. And they're hitting their thighs. And he's saying to them, in the salah, he's new to Islam. He just became Muslim. And he knew Hadithu Ahli bil Islam. He says, مَا لَكُمْ تَنْظُرُونَ إِلَيْهِ. Why are you looking at me? Then the Prophet ﷺ taught, when he finished the prayer, he said, the Prophet ﷺ, I never seen a teacher like him. He never told me off. He never rebuked me. Look at Rasul ﷺ, gentle in speech, kindness in speech. وَقُولُ لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا. Beautiful speech and how he would address everyone according to their level with children. Ya Aba Umayr, ma fa'ala al-Nughair. Look at the beautiful speech of Rasulullah with children. With the orphans, he would rub their head, make them feel loved. When the new Muslim, look how he treated him. To the extent that my house, I've never seen a teacher like him. He didn't tell me off or rebuke me. Wallah, you hear somebody in the masjid reviling somebody in the masjid. Ya akhi, make tawbah, you make mistake, make tawbah. It's easy, it's difficult. Allah will raise you. Made a mistake, khalas, usturuhu. You made a mistake or you didn't make a mistake. We only have good opinion about our Muslims. Husn al-dhan. Shaykh Abdul Muhsin Abbas in the Haram, when he's teaching Sunnah Ibn Majah, what did he say? When he came to the ahadith of Husn al-dhan, he said the backbiting of the heart is su' al-dhan. We all know how dangerous the backbiting of the tongue is. ذِكْرُكَ أَخَاكَ بِمَا يَكْرَهُ, speaking about your brother that he hates. The backbiting of the heart, su' al-dhan. Having bad opinion. We only have good opinion. Man satara musliman, satara Allah fi dunya wal akhirah. Whoever hides the sins of a Muslim, then Allah will conceal his sins in this life and in the hereafter. The man who was a worshipper, don't you remember the hadith? The man who was a worshipper and another was a sinner, and he kept advising him, but the sinner was persistent upon his sin. Then the worshipper became arrogant. And he said, لَن يَغْفِرَ اللَّهُ فُلَانٍ. Allah will never forgive that person. What did Allah say? مَنْ ذَا الَّذِي يَتَعَالَى عَلَيْهِ. Who is showing authority above me? قَدْ غَفَرْتُ لَهُ وَأَحْبَطْتُ عَمَلَكَ. I've forgiven him and I've nullified your deeds. Arrogance is an evil disease. Al-ujub. Thinking you're better than somebody else. Rasulullah was never like that. Look how he taught this Sahabi. Look how beautiful words. He said, إِنَّ هَذِهِ الصَّلَاةِ لَا يَصْلِحُ فِيهَا شَيْءٌ مِنْ كَلَامِ النَّاسِ. This prayer is not befitting that the words of the people is in it. And from yourself, you bring speech and you start talking to each other. إِنَّ هَذِهِ الصَّلَاةِ لَا يَصْلِحُ فِيهَا شَيْءٌ مِنْ كَلَامِ النَّاسِ. إنها تكبير وتحميد أو تسبيح وتكبير وقراءة القرآن. It is takbir, saying Allah is the greatest. Tasbih, glorifying Allah from all imperfection. And recitation of the Quran. This is the prayer. Look how beautiful the da'wah of Rasulullah, the kindness that he showed. To the extent that the Sahabi was content with the answer, and he even said, look, I'm new to Islam and I had some sheep and a servant that was looking after them, and one of the sheep was devoured by a wolf, and so I became angry, and I'm from the children of Adam. I become angry just like the children of Adam become angry, and I slapped her. Shall I free her? He said, bring her to me. When she came to him, he said, who am I? He said, you are the messenger of Allah. Where is Allah? Ayn Allah? Hadith Sahih Muslim. In case somebody says, Sahih Muslim. Ayn Allah? Where is Allah? Fi sama. He pointed up. And in Arabic language, fi does not always mean in. Wamshu fil ardi. Allah says in the Quran, go not in the land, go over the land. And here likewise, over the sky, above creation. And she affirmed the attribute of al-ulu, that Allah is above in a way which befits His Majesty. اعتقها فإنها مؤمنة. Free her as she's a believer. Free her as she is a believer. So this is from belief. Then you have some of the misguided groups, they want to explain it away. They came to Shaykh al-Albani rahimahullah Shaykh al-Albani rahimahullah. And they try to bring some doubts. They come in by way of hadith, from Mustalah al-Hadith. This hadith is muttarib, this hadith is not to be accepted. Why? Because it goes against another authentic hadith. What's the authentic hadith? Where's that one? In Sunan Abi Dawood, another word in Atashhadeen, where he asks, do you bear witness? So they say this one, do you bear witness? It testifies to the da'wah of Rasulullah of calling to people to worship Allah. Do you bear witness to his oneness? Do you bear witness to his... So Shaykh Al-Albani rahimahullah, look how beautiful he replied to those who did not know. He said, there's no contradiction there. Contradiction is when they are opposing. As Yahya ibn Ma'in said, we did not understand the hadith until we write it from 30 different ways. Then we understood the hadith. You just take one hadith, you make a big dome over it upon your aqidah. No. It doesn't work like that. Al-Jam', the ulama do al-Jam', they gather the proofs. And then they apply the ahkam. So he asked her, do you bear witness? And he asked her, where is Allah? What's the problem? Is the contradiction? Why couldn't you ask the both questions? He asked the both questions. Hadith in Sunnah Abi Dawud, alhamdulillah, accepted. Hadith in Sahih Muslim, accepted. What's the problem? Thereby affirming توحيد الألوهية توحيد الأسماء والصفات. إيش المشكلة؟ فهم توحيد. And توحيد is 3 categories. As we mentioned yesterday, not 5. توحيد ربوبية ألوهية والأسماء والصفات. Maintain Allah's oneness in His lordship, in His worship, and in affirming His beautiful names and attributes. So the Messenger ﷺ in this hadith showed us beautifully in the hadith of Muslim, hadith of Ain Allah, and we use it because many Muslims don't know where Allah is. Many Muslims don't know the meaning of La ilaha illallah. Ignorance has become widespread. As we used to say in the 90s, you get these political activists, they come, Ain Allah, everywhere. You want to establish Islamic State, you can't establish your aqidah. Establish the aqidah first. The belief first. Establish it in your house, in yourself. قُوْ أَنفُسَكُمْ وَأَهْلِكُمْ نَارًا. Save yourself, first and foremost. You want to go to it. Ain Allah. This is everywhere. Allah is not in creation. Like Ibn Arabi said, what is the golden calf except Allah? The golden calf that was worshipped by Bani Israel, what was that except Allah? A'udhu billah. Ibn Arabi. And you see this big book by Nuhamin Keller. Big book, Reliance of the Traveler. And in there he's praising Ibn Arabi. And in the back, in the index. Praising Ibn Arabi when it comes to Shaykh Islam ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, here it speaks ill of him. I need the person to become upside down. The one who's saying that Allah, what is Allah? What is the golden calf that was worshipped by Bani Israel except Allah? Claiming that Allah is in creation. A'udhu billah. Allah is not in creation. Allah is above creation. Everything besides Allah is alam. And we are one of the creation. Everything. كل ما سوى الله عالم. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is above all of the creation. إليه يصعد الكلم الطيب والعمل الصالح يرفعه. To Him rises the good speech and the good action make it rise even more. Even those who asked Isa alayhi salam, Jesus, the son of Mary, they asked him, أنزل علينا مائدة من السماء تكون لنا عيدا لأولنا وآخرنا وآية منك. Ask your Lord to send down. They believe Allah is above. Those in the time of Jesus, they believed Allah is above. And you, Ash'ari Sufis, don't say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is everywhere. They never believed that. They believed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is above. And that was correct. They said, Anzil. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala descends to the lowest heavens in the last first part of the night, descends. And Yawm Arafah yadnu, it comes close to his servants in a way which befits his majesty. Then he is above. Oh brother, you're putting Allah in direction. No, you're the one who invented direction. I never said the word direction. I said what Allah said. I said what Rasulullah said. Full stop. As Umar ibn Abdul Aziz said, who died 101 Hijriya, Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, who met some of the Sahaba. What did he say? على الله البيان وعلى الرسول البلاغ وعلينا التسليم. Allah gives the message. The Prophet ﷺ conveys it, and upon us is to submit to it. We say this to all of the groups because they don't submit to the narrations. Rather, if they see a narration that goes against them, I don't accept it because my sheikh said something else. اتبعوا ما أنزل إليكم من ربكم ولا تتبعوا من دون أولياء. That is what you must follow, what Allah has revealed. No one, my sheikh, this one said and that one said. Follow what Allah revealed to you. So a person must not, Shaykh Ubayd Hamdullah said, you must not be deceived by the life of this world. Learn the Aqidah, the heaviest of the scales on Yawm al-Qiyamah. Busy oneself with Tawheed daily. We need it. This one in America, Shadeed Muhammadullah, he says, every day, day and night, Tawheed. Yes, we wish. Day and night. What do you do when you wake up? Don't you say, Alhamdulillah, الذي أحيانا بعدما أماتنا وإليه النشور? Don't you say that when you wake up? Don't you say your adhkar? Allahumma anta rabbi la ilaha illa anta khalaqtani. Look at adhkar. How many times la ilaha illallah is repeated? La ilaha illa anta khalaqtani. وأنا عبدك وأنا على عهدك ووعدك ما استطعت أعوذ بك من شر ما صنعت أبوء لك بنعمتك علي وأبوء بذنبي فاغفر لي فإنه لا يغفر الذنوب إلا أنت. Tawheed, humbling yourself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator of the heavens and the earth, and that which you see, that which you haven't seen. فَلَا أُقْسِمُ بِمَا تُبْصِرُونَ وَمَا لَا تُبْصِرُونَ. We have seen very little. To takabbar ala Allah, become arrogant. That means you haven't understood Tawheed. What was the point then? You missed the plot. Dawah was going this way, you're going that way. The Rasul ﷺ da'wah going this way. وَأَنَّ هَذَا صِرَاطِ مُسْتَقِيمًا فَاتَّبِعُوهُ وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا السُّبُلَ فَتَفَرَّقَ بِكُمْ عَنْ سَبِيلِهِ ذَلِكُمْ وَصَّاكُمْ بِهِ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. That is the straight path. So follow it. And do not follow other paths that will lead you away from his path. Ibn Mas'ud mentioned Prophet ﷺ drew a line on the ground, straight line. The long line, and on the right and the left, shorter lines. You want to take shortcut, you will fail. Because upon the head of every shortcut, so going to the right, going to the left is a devil calling to it. No shortcut in Islam. ترجو النجاة ولم تسلك مسالكها إن سفينة لا تجري على اليبس. You want success but you don't tread its path. The ship cannot sail through dry land. MashaAllah, you want ship to go through dry land? You need foundation. And that foundation is Tawheed. Are you safe from the pride of Allah? That you persist upon this path of transgression? May Allah protect us. Don't be deceived by the life of this world. Don't be deceived by the glitter, the pomp, the luxury. سواء كان النعيم حسيا ككثرة المال والولد. Whether it is hissy, whether you see something which is apparent, which you see with your own eyes, like wealth. Wealth could be a fitna for you. It could be a trial for you. Yes, ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. Yes, there's no harm in being rich. And الغني الشاكر خير من الفقير الصابر, as some of the scholars mentioned. They have books on it. The one who's rich and is grateful is better than the one who's poor and is patient. Because this one is poor and is patient, doesn't have a choice, but the other one, he has a choice. Now he has it, and it's a big fitna. So much money. It's a fitna, it's a trial. Are you paying in zakah? Are you being charitable? Are you becoming arrogant? Or it could be ma'nawi, like jah, Shaykh Ubayd says. Could be status. seeking status. بل يجب عليه أن يكون مع الله. Obligatory upon a person to be with Allah. مقيما على طاعته, upon obedience to Allah. وما يحبه, that which Allah loves. ويرضاه, and is pleased with. ومن ذلك أن يكون لسانه رطبا بذكر الله. Such that, from that is an example of the person, his tongue being moist with the dhikr of Allah. Subhanallah, alhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. Not your invented dhikr, or Sufis. The adhkar have already been mentioned by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Not if anyone start inventing new adhkar for themselves. Or the Shaykh said, I gave you homework for you to do tonight. Say Allah 1,000 times. The Arabic language is mubtada khabar. Or jumla fi'liya. Fi'l fa'il maf'ul bihi. This is the Arabic language. Is there any other language, any other structure in the Arabic language? There's mubtada khabar. You are just bringing mubtada. Allah, Allah, Allah. Allah is, Allah is, Allah is. Finish the sentence here. Say Allahu Akbar. Say Subhanallah. Say Alhamdulillah. Even in your everyday life, going to the market, if you just say apples, 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 no one's going to listen to you. Because what is the benefit? Say, please, can you give me some apples? You go to the market, you say apples, apples, apples. The person thinks you're crazy, but what's he saying? He's saying the sentence here. And some of them say, who? It's who, yeah. Allah, may Allah protect us. May Allah make us upon Sunnah. Sunnah is beautiful and Sunnah is easy. Eh wallah, innahu yasirun liman yasarahu Allah alayhi. It's easy for those Allah has made it easy for. How beautiful the Sunnah is. Imām Malik rahimahullah said, as-sunnatu kasafinat Nuh. Man rakibaha faqad naja. The Sunnah is like the Ark of Noah. Whoever boards it is saved. The Sahaba loved the Sunnah. And they followed the Messenger ﷺ. Even though at times maybe he didn't even tell them do such and such, they would imitate him. They would do ittiba', not just ta'ah. Ittiba'. We have a problem now, people don't want to do ta'ah. Sahaba did ittiba' and ta'ah. قُلْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهَ فَاتَّبِعُونِ. If you truly love Allah, follow me. يحببكم الله ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم والله غفور رحيم. Allah will love you and forgive you your sins, and Allah will forgive you most merciful. اتباع واتبعوه لعلكم تفلحون. Follow him that you may be successful. واتبعوه لعلكم تهتدون. And follow him that you may be guided. Ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu, beautiful narrations from Ibn Mas'ud. When he saw the people in the masjid, they're doing their so-called dhikr with stones. Say Subhanallah, Subhanallah. Say Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. All together in unison in the masjid, the best place to be. In the masjid. Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, in unison. He said, عُدُّوا سَيِّئَاتِكُمْ. Count your sins. Ya Abu Abdurrahman, ma aradna illa al-khayr. We all intended good. كان مريد للخير لم يدركه أو لم يصبه. How many people intend good but don't reach it? Hadith is the other which is authentic in Sunnah ad-Darimi. How many people intend good but don't reach it? It's not enough to have intention. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu saw a man with like these bid'ah beads that you have nowadays, similar beads with a string inside. He took it from him, cut it, threw it on the floor, and he said, قَدْ صُبِقْتُمْ. You have been preceded. But we don't advise you to do that to people that you see with bid'ah beads. Advise them nicely. Abu Abdurrahman had that strength. And the Sahaba had strength at that time. And he had respect, and the people followed him. Radiallahu anhu. Nowadays people don't know. Ignorance has become widespread. Teach them the Sunnah of dhikr. Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah. With their right hand, as the Messenger ﷺ would do. After the salah, use his right hand. نور يسعى بين أيديهم. Inshallah, this will be light for you on Yawm al-Qiyamah. ومن ذلك يكون لسانه رطبا بذكر الله. ومن ذلك أنه إذا ألم بذنب أسرع إلى ما يطهره منه. And that is that when a person sins, he rushes to seek the mercy of Allah. وَيَا عِبَادِ الَّذِينَ أَسْرَفُوا عَلَى أَنفُسِهِمْ لَا تَقْنَطُوا مِنْ رَحْمَةِ اللَّهِ. Don't despair from the mercy of Allah. إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَغْفِرُ الذُّنُوبَ جَمِيعًا. Allah forgives all sins. Don't despair. You've wronged yourself. You made a mistake. Pick yourself up. Be hopeful. Ask Allah for His mercy. Because Allah outstretches His hands in the night for those who have sinned in the day. He outstretches His hands in the day for those who have sinned in the night. You want to stop that for the people? وَمَنْ يَغْفِرُ الذُّنُوبَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. No one forgives sins but Allah. Allah loves that you come to Him. Allah loves that you make tawbah. But your tawbah must be sincere. وَتُوبُوا إِلَى اللَّهِ تَوْبَةً نَصُوحًا. Secondly, he says, التحذير من الأمن من مكر الله والقنوط من رحمته. Don't be safe. Don't feel safe from Allah's plan that He punishes you due to your sins. How can you feel safe when the previous generations were mentioned who were punished because of their sins? As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in Surah Al-Sajdah, وَنُذِيقَنَّهُمْ مِنَ الْعَذَابِ الْأَدْنَى دُونَ الْعَذَابِ الْأَكْبَرِ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْجِعُونَ. And we will make them taste a lesser punishment other than a greater punishment, that they may gain mercy because of their sins. Sins are destructive. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, فَلَمَّا زَاغُوا أَزَاغَ اللَّهُ قُلُوبَهُمْ. And when they deviated, Allah made their hearts deviate even more. Surah As-Saff, verse 5. Allah said, أَلَمْ نُهْلِكِ الْأَوَّلِينَ ثُمَّ نُتْبِعُهُمُ الْآخِرِينَ كَذَلِكَ نَفْعَلُ بِالْمُجْرِمِينَ. Didn't we destroy and punish those who came before, who transgressed and turned away? Then we follow them up with those who came afterwards. This is how we deal with the wrongdoers. In the hadith of Abu Musa al-Ash'ari radiyallahu anhu, when he heard the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam speak about shirk and how dangerous shirk is, and that shirk al-asghar, inna akhwafa ma akhafu alaykum الشرك الأصغر. That which I fear for you the most is the minor shirk, which can creep on a person like the black ant on a black rock in the dark night. And it's hard to, the person must continuously check himself lest he falls into minor shirk, which is showing off. For example, doing things for the people. The Messenger as he's doing actions, he will say, Allahumma la sum'a wa la riya. Oh Allah, I'm not doing this to be heard, nor for showing off. Keep this with you always. Allahumma la sum'a wa la riya. When you're giving charity or whenever you're doing a good deed, people are going to see it. Allahumma la sum'a wa la riya. Don't want the people to pray. What can the people give you? We don't want their praise. Treat the people like they're their graves in front of you. They can neither benefit nor harm you, as some of the scholars of the Salaf said. Neither benefit you nor harm you. Because all khair comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All good comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And all harm, Allah is the one who removes it. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَيَمْسَسْكَ اللَّهُ بِدُرٍّ فَلَا كَاشِفَ لَهُ إِلَّا هُوَ. Only Allah. Not the people. Like these individuals who set themselves up to make business out of Allah's words. Ruqya. Call Sheikh Fulan al-Raqi for 20 years or 30 years. Who put you in that position? Sheikh Rabi said to one individual, who put you in that position? That you are the Raqi of this town and you're charging money. Don't go to these individuals. The Prophet said, don't be a sheep. That's good im'ah. Don't be a blind follower. Anyone says, Ya akhi, do ruqya over yourself. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Fatiha upon yourself. Read the adhkar upon yourself to remove harm. Or if others do it upon you, Jazakallah khair, without a condition that they stipulate, that in return you have to give me this. And they don't even say that. They say, give me this before I read on you. And in the hadith of Abi Sa'id al-Khudri radiallahu anhu, where he came to a town, a village, and there was a people The Sayyid al-Qawm at that time was bitten by a scorpion. The leader of the people was bitten by a scorpion. And they asked Abu Sa'id al-Khudri if you can read over him. And he was not a Muslim. But they said, if you read over him, and we will give you a ju'la. So he read over him, and then they gave him, when the person was cured, Shaykh Rabi Habullah said, when the person was cured, then they gave him a ju'la. Then they gave him some meat as a gift. SubhanAllah, these are so-called raqis, they're going around, the person is still sick. 10 years still sick and he's still getting money from him. You're using this hadith, cheating the people, setting yourself up, reading upon this bottle and saying, yeah, this one is more money because I read on it Fatiha. I can read on it Fatiha, this one can read. The person who's sick can read on it Fatiha. Why does it have to be you? Why does it have to be you reading it on it? It makes it £10 more or £50 more. Why do I have to go to a shop, a raqi shop, come here and read upon you? And some of them, they are touching the women on their head, just like the priest. They go, my son, you are cured. Now they're doing the same. Touching the women, touching the men, as if he's the curer. The curer is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes, for your Muslim brother, put your hand on his pain and read over him. Jazakallah khair. But don't be beguiled and deluded by these phonies who go around setting up internet websites that they are the raqi or the ashab al-ruqya in this town, and they charge extensive money, whether they pay tax on it or not, Allahu a'lam. May Allah protect us. Famous hadith Abu Sa'id al-Ash'ari, Abu Musa al-Ash'ari radiallahu anhu, that he said, since this is the most thing you fear for us the most, and how can we protect ourselves from it? So the Messenger taught him the dua to say, and we advise each other, all of us, to say this on a regular basis. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika an ushrika bika shay'an wa ana a'lam. Oh Allah, I seek refuge with you in associating partners with you in anything whilst knowing. Wa astaghfiruka lima la a'lam. And I seek your forgiveness in that which I don't know. Yani in that I commit shirk unknowingly. A beautiful dua that he taught Abu Musa al-Ash'ari, and that dua also comes in another hadith where the Prophet taught Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu. The same dua. And Shaykh Abdulilah Lahmami said, هذا من أحسن الدعاء. This is from the best of supplications that a person can say regularly. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika an ushrika bika shay'an wa ana a'lam wa astaghfiruka lima la a'lam. And Shaykh Abdulilah Lahmami rahimahullah mentions, because Allah knows what you are, what comes from you, whether it is shirk or not, whether it is knowingly or unknowingly to you. So the person says that, affirming Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's knowledge. Careful from falling into sins and bid'ah, and the severest of sins, the major sin of shirk, not being content that Allah will not punish that person. How many people we used to know in the 90s are no longer around? Slipped, deviated. They used to also say, MashaAllah, Sunnah. Now, it's bid'ah. Allah. They used to also say at that time, Tawheed. Now they're on the platform with a person calling to shirk. And afterwards, the same gathering, they said, light refreshments with a bit of music. That's the same gathering. they put forward this person who calls to shirk. In fact, he partook in translating the Burda of Busayri that we mentioned yesterday. T.J. Winters, Abdul Hakim Murad of Cambridge University. He took part in translating this Burda that we mentioned yesterday, which contains shirk. Nasallallahu salama. وَمِنْ عُلُومِكَ عِلْمُ اللَّوْحِ وَالْقَلَمِ. And from your knowledge, O Messenger of Allah, the knowledge of the pen, and knowledge of the preserved tablets and the pen. Yani he knows all the unseen. And you would write that and spread that to the dunya, that he knows the unseen unconditionally. If he knew the unseen, why did he take a kharrit, a person to show him the direction to Medina when he was migrating from Mecca to Medina? But no, it took a kharrit, somebody to show him the way. If he knew the unseen, why would he, as we mentioned yesterday, why did he eat from the meats that contain poison? And towards the end of his life he said, and now I feel the pains of that poison. Sallallahu salama. The Messenger did not know the unseen unconditionally. Yes, Allah showed him paradise and hellfire. But Allah also said, إِنِّي أَعْدَدْتُ لِعِبَادِي مَا لَا عَيْنٌ رَأَتْ وَلَا أُذُنٌ سَمِعَتْ وَلَا خَطَرَ فِي قَلْبِ رَجُلٍ مِّنْكُمْ or أَحَدٍ مِّنْكُمْ. I have prepared for my servants what no eye has seen, and no ear has heard, and no heart has contemplated about its reality in its entirety. Yes, he was given that which he saw, he narrated. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows all of paradise and all of hellfire and all of what is occurring and what will occur. Likewise, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, قُلْ هُوَ الْقَادِرُ عَلَىٰ أَنْ يَبْعَثَ عَلَيْكُمْ عَذَابًا مِنْ فَوْقِكُمْ أَوْ مِنْ تَحْتِ أَرْجُلِكُمْ أَوْ يَلْبِسَكُمْ شِيَعًا. It is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying, it is Allah who is able to send upon you a punishment from above you and from under your feet. And that punishment will come from above or from below, like the man is mentioned in Sahih al-Bukhari. He was walking arrogantly with pride, and then, subhanallah, he just got swallowed up by the earth. The earth swallowed him up. Swallowed him up. Allahu Akbar. Because he was going arrogant upon the earth. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَلَا تَمْشِي فِي الْأَرْضِ مَرَحًا. Don't go in the earth full of pride. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُحِبُّ كُلَّ مُخْتَالٍ فَخُورٍ. Allah doesn't love every arrogant, boastful, proud person. And in the other verse of Surah Al-Isra, وَلَا تَمْشِي فِي الْأَرْضِ مَرَحًا إِنَّكَ لَن تَخْرِقَ الْأَرْضَ وَلَن تَبْلُغَ الْجِبَالَ طُولًا. You don't go in the earth full of pride and arrogance. You didn't penetrate all of the earth. Nor did you reach the mountain in height. So we should not be arrogant. Go in the land with humility. الَّذِينَ يَمْشُونَ عَلَى الْأَرْضِ هَوْنًا. نعم, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned about the عباد الرحمن وعباد الرحمن الذين يمشون على الأرض هونا وإذا خاطبهم الجاهلون قالوا سلاما والذين يبيتون لربهم سجدا وقياما. They're the humble ones, in prostration and in standing to their Lord, because they know they will stand in front of their Lord Yawm al-Qiyamah. So their prostration and standing in this dunya, they make it the best of their ability, prepare themselves for the akhirah. سجدا وقياما. والذين يقولون ربنا اصرف عنا عذاب جهنم إن عذابها كان غراما إنها ساءت مستقرا ومقاما. And they fear the punishment of the hellfire, and they call upon their Lord, O Allah, protect us from the hellfire, because they know the hellfire is hotter than the light of the fire of this dunya by 70 times. They know that the hellfire will be brought forward on the day of judgment with 70,000 rains, and each rain will be brought forward with 70,000 angels. Each rain with 70,000 angels. وَبُرِّزَتِ الْجَحِيمِ, and it will become apparent to their eyes. And the people will be going to the hellfire. أَلَمْ يَأْتِكُمْ نَذِيرٌ, did no warner come to you? بَلَا قَدْ جَاءَنَا نَذِيرٌ فَكَذَّبْنَاهُ وَقُلْنَا مَا نَزَّلَ اللَّهُ مِنْ شَيْءٍ. Yes, a warner came to us, but we denied them. We rejected them. And we said Allah did not reveal anything. Warner came, but we turned away. And then yes, the people will be screaming their hellfire. شَهِيقًا وَهِيَ سَعِيرٌ, while it's boiling over. Yes, there are flames of the hellfire. Dry will be bringing the people back who try to escape. They remember this. The Ibadur Rahman. كَلَّا إِنَّهَا وَضَعْ نَزَّاعَةً لِلشَّوَى, ready to burn the person. تَدْعُ مَنْ أَدْبَرَ وَتَوَلَّى, calling back the one who's trying to escape and go and leave. No escape for the disbelievers and the people of shirk. وَجَمَعَ فَأَوْعَى, he used this life just to gather the dunya, and that was it. That was his main aim. إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ خُلِقَ هَلُوعًا إِذَا مَسَّهُ الشَّرُّ جَزُوعًا وَإِذَا مَسَّهُ الْخَيْرُ مَنُوعًا. This is man, is created hasty. Any good comes to him, he's happy. Any harm comes to him, he's complacent. إِلَّا الْمُصَلِّينَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ عَلَى صَلَاتِهِمْ دَائِمُونَ, except those who pray, always in their prayer. دَائِمُونَ, loving to meet Allah 5 times a day in their salah, calling upon Allah for protection, upon tawheed, upon ikhlas, loving to do dhikr, the dhikr upon the sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They are not safe from the makr of Allah. They're not safe from the punishment of Allah. They know that each and every one of us, we are between the 2 fingers of Ar-Rahman. قلوب العباد بين أصبعين من أصابع الرحمن يقلبها كيف يشاء. He changes it how he wills. One day you're a believer, another day you've left. Because you were not firm. You did not call upon Allah for protection and for guidance. يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلبي على دينك. You didn't give importance to that which Allah gave importance to. Protecting yourself daily with the adhkar, reading the Quran, which will make you upright. إِنَّ هَذَا الْقُرْآنَ يَهْدِي لِلَّتِي هِيَ أَقْوَمُ. Pondering over it, not neglecting it, not leaving it. اتَّخَذُوا هَذَا الْقُرْآنَ مَهْجُورًا. But reading the Quran, pondering over the Quran, and practicing what it entails. Protecting your tongue and your private parts. من يضمن لي ما بين لحيي وما بين رجلي أضمن له الجنة. Uqba ibn Amr asked him, where is salvation? The Messenger ﷺ said, أمسك عليك لسانك. Guard your tongue. Don't insult others. Don't backbite. Don't tell carry. إنهما لا يعذبان وما يعذبان في كبيرة بل إنها كبيرة. أما أحدهما فكان يمشي بين الناس بالنميمة وفي الرواية بالغيبة وأما الآخر فكان لا يستتر من بوله. He's careful not to tell carry, careful not to backbite, careful only to speak the truth. Then the Prophet ﷺ was never violent speech. ما كان الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم فاحشا ولا متفاحشا ولكن كان يقول خيركم عند الله أحسنكم أخلاقا. Good in manners, in etiquette, how you treat others. Careful, cautious, trying to protect yourself to the best of your ability to get to Jannah, the other side. Cry over your sins. وابكي عن خطيئتك وليسعك بيتك, and make your homes, busy yourselves with your homes, as is the explanation that Sheikh Rabi' Abdullah gave. Busy your homes, make your affairs of your home. Concern yourself with your houses. Don't be safe from the plan of Allah. We need Allah. We need His assistance. We need His guidance. We need His protection. We need His help. We need His aid. We need Him to give us victory and aid over the oppressors who oppress. And He does that because He's a Latif. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. He helps the needy and those in need. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned, أَفَأَمِنَ أَهْلُ الْقُرَىٰ أَنْ يَأْتِيَهُمْ بَأْسُنَا بَيَاتًا وَهُمْ نَائِمُونَ. Are they, those in the villages, who will feel safe from the plan of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Do they feel safe that in the night they will not be punished whilst they're sleeping? أَوْ أَمِنَ أَهْلُ الْقُرَىٰ أَنْ يَأْتِيَهُمْ بَأْسُنَا ضُحًى وَهُمْ يَلْعَبُونَ. Or that punishment comes to them in the daytime, the morning, while they're playing. أَفَأَمِنُوا مَكْرَ اللَّهِ فَلَا يَأْمَنُ مَكْرَ اللَّهِ إِلَّا الْقَوْمُ الْخَاسِرُونَ. So none who feels that they are safe from the plan of Allah except the people who are losers, or people of loss. Likewise, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran about those who were destroyed before us. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned, فَكُلًّا أَخَذْنَا بِذَنْبِهِ. Or each and every nation, we took them according to their sins. فَمِنْهُمْ أَرْسَلْنَا عَلَيْهِ حَاصِبًا. Amongst them we sent a storm of stones and hurricane, violent wind. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ أَخَذْته الصَّيْحَةُ. And amongst them, وَمِنْهُمْ أَخَذَتْهُ الصَّيْحَةُ. Amongst them, they were punished with a blast from the sky, a loud blast from the sky. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ خَسَفْنَا بِهِ الْأَرْضِ. And amongst them are those who made the earth swallow them. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ أَغْرَقْنَا. And amongst them we drowned, like Fir'aun and his people, his followers. وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لِيَظْلِمَهُم. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not oppress them. وَلَكِنْ كَانُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ يَظْلِمُونَ. But they oppressed themselves. But they only oppressed themselves. In this chapter, Shaykh Ubayd Abdullah said, or mentioned the hadith of Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhu, where the Prophet took hold of his shoulders and said, be in this world as if you are a stranger or a traveler. And then Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhu added, when you wake up, don't expect to reach the evening. إذا أصبحت فلا تنتظر المساء وإذا أمسيت فلا تنتظر الصباح. And when you reach the morning, don't expect to reach the evening. And likewise, in this section, the Prophet Shaykh Ubayd Hafidullah mentioned the narration, the authentic narration that the Messenger said, I advise you with 5 before 5. That you take care of your youth before your old age. You take care of your health before your sickness. You take care of your time of ease, where you have wealth, before you become poor. And take care of your free time before you become preoccupied. And take care of your life before your death. Hadith which is authentic, mentioned Sunnah Nasa'i and others. And likewise, Shaykh Ubayd Hafidullah, as much as we mustn't feel safe from the plan of Allah, likewise we mustn't lose hope from His mercy. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is most merciful. That's His name, Ar-Rahman. And for the believers, He delivers that mercy to them. وَكَانَ بِالْمُؤْمِنِينَ رَحِيمًا. So those who are deserving of punishment, they are punished if He doesn't forgive them. And those who are not, those who Allah shows mercy to, He forgives them. So each one, according to what they are deserving of. So the person also must not also despair from the relief that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can give His servants. That is, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned, وَمَنْ يَقْنَطُ مِنْ رَحْمَةِ رَبِّهِ إِلَّا الضَّالُّونَ. Those who lose hope from the mercy of their Lord they are the ones, except that they are the ones who are ضالون. They are misguided. So the person lives between these two, fear and hope. Fearing Allah's punishment and hoping for His mercy and hoping for relief and that His supplications are answered. Then the author mentioned the last two narrations. عن ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم سئل عن الكبائر فقال الشرك بالله واليأس من روح الله والأمن من مكر الله. And when the Prophet ﷺ was asked about the major sins, he said, "Ashirku billah," to associate partners with Allah, to lose hope in the relief that Allah will bring, and also to feel safe from the plan of Allah that He may punish you if you are misguided or if you turn away. This is the believers, how they are. They feel careful that they do not fall into sin and transgression of oppressing their own selves. This narration, which is mentioned here as being mawquf from the statement of Ibn Abbas anhuma, and similar to it is in the Mas'ud statement. And that is where the Prophet, where he himself said, Akbarul Kaba'ir, the major sins, or the most major sins are al-ishraku billah, to commit shirk with Allah, wal-amnu min makrillah, feeling safe from the plan of Allah, wal-qunutu min rahmatillah, and losing hope from the mercy of Allah, wal-ya'su min rawhillah, and not considering that a way out is possible, meaning relief is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Likewise, this is similar to the narration of Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us and aid us and forgive us. For indeed, when we see we are in need of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, these are times of not ease, these are times of difficulty. And these are times when people get preoccupied a lot, preoccupied with the internet, preoccupied with all these social media. The person must reflect and look at themselves. What is actually going to benefit me? How many times does one pick up the phone? And how many times does one pick up the Quran? How many verses does one read a day? How many times does one turn back to learning their deen, the deen that Allah has obligated you and me with? How many times does a person busy themselves with that which will save them from the hellfire? Being with the righteous, being with the people of Sunnah, being with the ulama of Al-Sunnah, speaking good or keep silent. All of these things a person must look at. We ask Allah to protect us and aid us, and forgive us our shortcomings, and that we are not of those who feel safe, nor are we of those who go to the other extreme of lose hope, or that they lose hope. Rather, we worship Allah from fear and hope. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik.